Testing 1 2 1 2. I hope everybody is doing well this evening. Hope everybody is doing well. It is Sunday, August 28th, 2022. We're gonna chop it up a little bit today. We're gonna do things a little bit different today. I have a guest on with me. We're gonna talk to the Angry Snowman, and we're gonna talk it up, chop it up. Y'all know how we do over here. So bear with me. We're going to get started. I'm going to start burning this pineapple. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get that going right now. Got to get my pineapple going because that helps keep me calm. I'll be on here talking too much shit without the damn pineapple. Let's get this pineapple going.
I didn't know nothing about no pineapple.
That's my incense, man.
I was actually thinking about burning one of my incense myself.
Yeah, that's how I stay calm. Well, as always, if you guys don't want to be here, don't be here. If you don't like what we got to say, how we're saying it, our tone, our delivery, all that shit, move around. There are plenty of places to be out here in these YouTube streets. So today's topic, get my notes pulled up, y'all. Today's topic is going to be information does not equal knowledge, does not equal wisdom. And the extended topic is going to be short-term success does not guarantee future success. So that's what me and the Snowman are going to talk about today. And stay tuned, man. We're going to jump right into this after this intro. Let's see if I can do this right.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
Feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail nonetheless. It's frightening. Turns the legs to jelly. I ask you, to what end? Dread it? Run from it? Destiny arrives all the same. And now it's here. Or should I say, I am.
All right, man. We are live, man. It is your people's champ on the People's Podcast, V-Ben Israel. And I'm here with the Angry Snowman. We are going to talk some shit, y'all. That's what we do. Masculinity over here. We're not dealing with all that punk beta blue scent pill shit. Y'all know how we do. We're going to keep it real. Tell them where to find you at, Snowman.
You can find me over on YouTube on The Angry Snowman. That's The Angry Snowman on YouTube. You can also find me anywhere they have intellectual podcasts, because I personally enjoy more than anything going and having intellectual discussions, intelligent discussions and just any kind of discussion with men who have their heads put on straight and that are trying to deliver a quality message that is actually going to maybe bring solutions to some of our issues and help steer our up and coming young men in the right direction.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm all for that, man. I think in our lifetimes, you know, we're both Generation X, and we've spent so much time as men trying to continue effeminate talking points and feminist talking points. And some of us have actually adopted these things for our own selves. And it's just insanity to me, man. I'm like, what are y'all talking about, dude? We don't talk like that with each other. Why are we getting here in this manosphere space, and why the hell are we doing it over here now? You know,
right?
It's crazy to me.
This was when the manosphere was actually created. It was meant to be a space for men to actually talk about men's issues and come up with solutions to problems.
Yeah,
you know, and to be able to have men there available to give guidance to young men,
because we didn't have that. We didn't have that growing up. Those baby boomers, our dads, they didn't talk to us, man, about shit. You know, they pretty much, they did a lot of simping, they did a lot of beta man stuff, and they really didn't prepare us for the world as it was being created. So we kind of got smacked right in our faces, you know.
Right.
Like, what the hell is this, you know?
Well, that, and I think a lot of people, they tend to forget that our Generation X, was the first big generation to have the absence of fathers.
Yeah, we were latchkey kids.
You know, yeah, actually, we had an absence of fathers and mothers. Now, since you bring up latchkey kids,
yeah, we were
pretty much
kids,
raising
man.
ourselves.
The dog raised me. I had a bird dog retriever, man. It was me and him, man. You know, 90% of the time, you know, mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, everybody was out working, man.
Correct. You know, chasing that paper, man. Living for the American dream.
And it's funny, you know, because that's white and black. You know, I talk to white guys all the time, man. It's like we got the same story. You know,
yeah.
Working class, we all got the same story. And it's like we're from different places, different parts of the country, different zip codes, and we still have the same damn stories growing up, you know?
Yeah, and if you go by what your mainstream narrative would be, we're not supposed to be able to relate to one another at all.
No, that's what they want to keep us divided, you know, the plutocrats, because they understood in the 1700s that, yeah, hell, if these poor white people and poor black people ever get together, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. They're going to take, so they created something. They created white privilege. So they say, aha, we got it. We're going to make white people, no matter how, even though they don't have shit, they're poor just like the black people. We're going to always make them better than black people. And some people bought into that shit, you know. You know, you can go up to coal mining country in Appalachia or West Virginia, and these people are living in trailers that are falling apart with dirt floors and outhouses, and they still think they're better.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, are you shitting me?
Well, it's kind of like, you remember the grasshopper, the grasshopper general in Bug's Life, right?
Yeah.
And when they were sitting there in that bar after they just got done going to the anthill to initially raid them for the first time of the season.
Right.
And the ants had lost most of their crop. And because of that, the general told the ants, well, we'll be back X number of days. When we come back, I want double now, since you didn't have what we wanted initially. Right, when they get back to the bar, you know, his head lieutenant looks at him and says, well, why we don't need their supplies. We don't need their food. Why are we going back when we don't need it? And if you recall, there was right there behind the bar, there was a bottle with a cork on it. And inside that bottle was a bunch of seeds. Right? And he looks at him and he takes that cork off and he grabs one seed and he throws it at his head. He said, that doesn't hurt, does it? No, not at all. And he opens that cork up and he grabs another one and he throws it at his head again. That doesn't hurt, does it? No. Well, then he grabs a hold of him and he pulls that cork. Well, he pulls the cork and he kicks him behind over where that bottle is and lets all those seeds fall down on top of him. and completely pin him to the ground.
Yeah.
He looks at him and says, "Now, can you move?" He's like, "No." He said, "That's why we need to do this, because the day they realize that there are more of them than there are of us,
right,
is the day that we lose and we're in trouble."
We're in trouble, right? That's a great analogy right there, man. Great. So listen, I see some people are starting to trickle in here now. Please, as you come in, like, subscribe, and share. Likes and subscriptions are free. We don't charge for those, but hey, y'all can hit the Cash App. Y'all can definitely hit the Cash App. But we're going to give you this great content either way, man. But we definitely appreciate the likes so we can stay in this algorithm and grow this space and continue to grow this space.
And I think that we're trying to grow in a new direction, to be honest with you. I know that you've gotten a lot like me. I think that because I've started finding new channels and areas and branching out from the old areas.
Right.
You know, because I'm tired of the same circular discussions.
Almost definitely.
You know, and the same circular discussions that turn into circular arguments that lead into circular dead ends that go nowhere.
It's just over and over and over again. I'm like, hell, I've been having these conversations all my life where I've witnessed them all of my life. Like, when are we going to move past this? You know, when are we going to have this? When are we going to have genuine conversation and not these disingenuous arguments that are designed to be circular traps? I was watching a clip earlier with Jesse Lee Peterson was interviewing Cynthia G.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's all she was doing. She was doing the same thing that the young lady did on Jay's show the other night. Same thing. Just wouldn't answer any questions. She wouldn't even allow him to get his question out before she kept interjecting. Man, it's like, hey, can I finish my question before you respond to it? You know, but they get so triggered. They hear one word out of context and they get triggered by that one word. And I'm just going to totally disrupt your whole thought process.
Right.
So that way I don't have to really answer anything, you know.
Well, a lot of it is, and I know you've heard me say it before, is even it seems like there's a big chunk of people that come from our generation that are tailoring this new generation and this whole new idea of hearing but not listening.
Yeah, no active listening skills whatsoever.
You know,
none at all.
All they do is wait. They're hearing just to wait for specific trigger words,
or they're just waiting for the space in the conversation where they could just jump in and monologue. So I'm going to ignore the topic. I'm going to ignore what the host is saying. I'm going to ignore everything I just heard. I'm going to say what I want off topic, and you need to quote unquote respect me.
Right.
What the fuck does that mean? Like, you're not respecting the English language. You're not respecting basic etiquette here, conversational etiquette. But I'm supposed to respect what again? Fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'm going to cut your ass off. I'm going to kick your ass out like I did the other night. Man, we're not playing that shit no more.
Right.
Man.
I mean, basically, you're all moist anyhow and full of all this female, feminine energy, and I ain't got time for that. You know, I'm not sitting here trying to do a vagina measuring contest to see who can stuff more sand up in there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's insanity, man.
You know, and women, insanity. Man, dude, these women, that's the look. I've talked to quite a few folks, and it's men mainly, because all of us men that are out here trying to put out a good word, when it comes to women, we all see the same issue happening all the time. It's they wait until you got a group of men that are actually having a nice, intelligent, productive conversation, even if they aren't giving any real, even if it ain't giving any real solutions to life issues.
But the conversation is being had.
Yeah, it's showing young men how to have conversation with each other in a articulate and healthy manner, even if you're disagreeing about things. And then you'll see these women hop up or decide, oh, we can't have this. You know, we got too many men, too many brothers and too many crackers on a panel together at the same time, showing that they can get along and that everything that they're not the ones that are the problem. So we got to go up there and throw a monkey wrench in their shit.
Right. Shout out to Embrace the motherfucking Grace is in the chat. How you doing, girl? We love you over here.
Even if I talk shit about women, I still love you.
Yeah. She dropped a comment. I can't swim it. Let me see if I can read that damn comment. Let me blow this tablet up. That's why I bought it, right?
She says,
good evening. Oh, please press the like button upon your arrival. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, rather. Yes, ma'am. We want them to hit that like button. Oh, let's get in here.
I forgot, man. I went to reading for you. I forgot you ain't Jay.
Nah, it's all good. You know what? I bought this tablet so I could zoom in because, you know, I'm legally blind. And
so you're worse off than me.
Yeah, man. I had a stroke at 40, man. It didn't affect anything else but my eyesight. So the tablet really, this is my first time actually using this tablet. I've had it about 2 months. And this actually makes it a lot better where I can see the comments and keep up with them. So this little test run is working out pretty good. Actually, I'm doing better than I thought I would.
Right.
Yeah, so, you know, I bought a Chromebook too. I may incorporate the Chromebook, but so far, this tablet is doing what I needed to do. So I may end up giving the Chromebook to one of these kids or something.
Well, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, dude. My intention is I got a all-in-one here. And then my other monitor is like a 46-inch flat screen smart TV. All right, hooked up to it. Once I get this all-in-one paid off, which it should be paid off here in about 3 months, I'm taking it and giving it to the wife. And then she's going to take her all-in-one that she's got that used to be mine that I gave her, and she's giving it to the boy. And I'm going to go get me one of them probably 30-inch touchscreen all-in-ones that's got the NVIDIA the NVIDIA video card on it and everything with all the top line up to date stuff to where I can do the OBS and everything. And
eventually I'd like to, you know, as I grow my space, I'm going to, you know, do some upgrades. You know, I'd like to do multiple camera angles and, you know, maybe get an Elgato or, you know, Black Magic deck or something, you know, so I could do the sound effects and things like that. But, you know, that's down the road. I may do some of that stuff eventually.
Hold on a second. We watch YouTube. Is that any better? I turned it up a little bit. I'm trying to get it to a place where I can sit comfortably in my chair and not be all up in it.
Yeah, she left a second comment and said it was her sound.
She said it's her sound.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I'll turn it back down then because I hate having it cranked.
Yeah, she said never mind. It was her. Grammy and Papa are in the motherfucking house. Glad to have you over here with us, y'all.
Make sure you hit that like button.
Definitely.
Hit that like
definitely
button,
subscribe. Subscribe to Snowman's channel if you already are subscribed over here. Subscribe to the Angry Snowman channel. It's quite easy to find. Eventually, he can drop a link in the comments, I'm sure. But as this show goes on. But yeah, we got some people trickling in. We got Grace in here. We got Grammy and Papa. I'm going to need y'all to get 2 separate phones because y'all messing up the algorithm.
Yeah, I mean, there should be a separate footprint for each one of you. You guys shouldn't be sharing the same
we need
one.
2 of them.
All them numbers count, and you guys are robbing us of an extra body.
Papa over there laughing. I can hear him laughing right now. I can hear him laughing. So anyway, tonight's topic, again, we're going to talk about information does not equal knowledge, does not equal wisdom. So we're going to jump into that. And, you know, Thomas Edison, that's my jersey coming out. I said it the wrong way.
I wasn't going to say nothing, man. I was just going to let it go.
That was my jersey. I had to correct myself.
I know. I caught that.
The famous story goes, Edison failed to refine the light bulb, one of the few creations he merely refined but did not invent. So many times it took him 10,000 attempts to perfect it. And I'm saying this story for a lot of you young men. I think us Generation Xers have heard that before throughout our lifetime in school, because they used to tell us that in school. I don't think they're still telling you kids, or I know the millennials and the Zoomers did not hear that, because my kids, when I told my kids about it, they were like, what the hell are you talking about, Dad? But the point is, you millennials and younger, you have the benefit of learning from us. But you didn't earn your information. You just acquired it. You got these devices in your pockets, and some of you have an arrogance to you because you didn't have to go through any trials and tribulations to acquire the information that you have. And it makes you a little arrogant, almost disrespectful to us. And then you confuse our reaction with quote unquote rage. No, it's actually disrespect, because in essence, you guys are standing on the shoulders of giants, and you're just you're not starting from ground level or par. You're starting from where we already are, and where we had to kick and scrap and put foot and boot the ass to get here. Most of you guys don't even remember going to the library and using the fucking Dewey Decimal System. Most of y'all millennials probably never even heard of the Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah, you had
See,
to
when
use
we wanted to get information, huh?
Yeah, I remember you had to use that in tandem with the card catalog, man.
With the card catalog, right?
If you really didn't know where a book was.
Well, first, before we even got to the library, we had to walk across town. If we wanted to learn information, we had to walk across town and get to the library. And then we had to have some working knowledge of the card catalog, the Dewey Decimal System, before we could even start reading whatever book we were searching for. They got all of this on their phones, man.
That's a fact, bro. Because look, I remember the first time my adult kids, when they were teenagers, they asked me to give them a ride to school, and I looked at them and said, "Your feet ain't broke." And they thought it was almost like the whole world came to an end. Well, it's cold outside. Well, then dress for it.
Hell, man, listen. These kids, I'm in North Carolina. My kids pretty much were raised here in North Carolina. If they say the word snow, everything shuts down. I remember going to school in a foot of snow. We had snowsuits and shit.
Not only that, Brother Israel, but standing outside in the freezing cold in front of the front door of the school, waiting for them to unlock that motherfucker so we could come in, with the teacher standing there pointing and laughing and making fun of us because we're freezing and they're in a nice warm building.
It's crazy. And I'm not going to take anything away from the millennials. We civilized the world just like we did for women. We civilized it for future generations. And we're not knocking that you guys didn't have to light fucking candles for lighting. You have electricity. You know, we're not doing what the old people did to us. We're just saying appreciate what we have to bring to the table.
Well, not only that, what we're acknowledging is the failure of some of our own generation to teach you guys just the common life skills that you should have to be able to survive, just in some chance that you end up being without these amenities that you've become accustomed to.
Right. So we're going to talk, and words matter. I've always been a big fan of that. So we're going to define what information is, what knowledge is, what wisdom is. We're going to start there. Right?
Ooh,
so
I
the definition of information. Huh?
I got the dictionary. You got your phone.
Yeah, I already got it pulled up.
But I got the old dictionary.
Definition of information: facts provided or learned about something or someone. That's what information is.
Say that one more time.
Facts provided or learned about something or someone. That definition doesn't come from Webster's. It comes from dictionary.com.
What do you and with that definition? What do you think the key word in that definition is, sir?
provided or learned, I would say, are key. See,
Well,
we provide a lot of information
you.
to them.
I agree with that, but I think the most important is facts.
Oh, yeah. I'm about to come to that. So the synonyms for information are data and facts. Those are your synonyms. Now, the definition of knowledge. This is Webster's. The fact or condition of knowing something or familiarity gained through experience or association. And the key word in that definition is experience. See, too often I think these younger men, they confuse information with knowledge. They're not synonymous of one another. They're not synonyms.
You know what?
So,
if I may, before you dig too deep.
Yeah, jump in.
Before you dig too deep, because you just said something, and I just found the definition of information in my dictionary. This is a 1950, it's a 67
Bring it out.
copy. And one of their definitions in here, which goes right in with what you're saying, is definition number 3. Knowledge acquired in any manner, data and facts, but knowledge acquired in any manner, if that's information that goes right into what you're saying. Yeah. It's acquired in any manner. That means it could be, you can get it just from reading. You can get it from it being something that someone told you. From it literally ties into him saying given the definition of knowledge, which with knowledge being a lived experience.
Now we're going to go to the third one. Definition of wisdom. The ability to discern inner qualities and relationships. Insight. And this is what we have that they don't have. Because we've developed this over a lifetime, how we can assess a situation and have insight into a situation because of our lived experience, where they don't have it. And a lot of times these guys, and you and I talked about this early this morning. Yeah, we was up at 4:00 this morning talking shit.
Yeah, we sure were.
But a lot of times these guys, they get over here in these manosphere spaces and they learn a few keywords or jargon or even a few data and statistical points, and they repeat these things and they think that makes them a man, or that makes them quote unquote red pill. What they don't realize about
it makes them think they're knowledgeable.
Yeah, right. They think they're knowledgeable, even though they didn't gain anything. They didn't acquire anything, per se. So to me, what their talking points are all theoretical. It's all theory. It's never been put in practice. They didn't have the opportunity to fail as Edison did. That's what made Edison smart, because he learned. And he didn't just learn from his own experimentation. They say a smart man learns from his own mistakes, but a wise man learns from others.
Bro, I want to throw this at you. In this book right here, it says wisdom, the quality of being wise, good judgment, learning knowledge.
Gotta have that experience. Comes back to that experience. Knowledge.
And see, that's crazy that you brought up these 3 words. And these 3 words, even though dictionary.com is they're giving you a good assessment definition of what these words are, but it's not showing you how one is tied to the other,
right,
and then to the other, and you need the first one in order to gain access to the second one, and you need the second one in order to further gain access to the third one.
And that's why when you heard the title of my show last night, you picked up on it immediately. Yes. You was like, "Oh shit, that's good."
Dude, it was
and this is also biblical. For those
Absolutely.
of you who believe in the Bible, it's also biblical. So I got some scriptures for y'all too, of course. Y'all know I'm going to bring out the scriptures. So we're going to start with Hebrews 5 and 12,
Uh-oh.
King James Version.
You know them Hebrews.
For when for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. So, this is what happens. People think they know things that they don't know because they don't have that experience. They don't have that knowledge yet. They don't have that wisdom. All they got is information. They haven't got acquired the other two things. So they have need that somebody, it didn't say God, it didn't say their pastor, that someone could be anybody or someone you don't even expect that's going to teach you again, right?
Man has
It
a
is,
need
this is the
for
first
knowledge and
principle.
wisdom.
It's the first principle of how this shit is designed to work. And it always uses the reference milk and meat. Because when you think of a baby, and this is what Christ was saying, you got to put yourself in a childlike state so you can learn again. And you got to get that milk. When you're a baby, you feed a baby milk. You're weaning them from the breast, as Isaiah 58 talks about. You got to wean them from a breast. But too often, people want to jump into topics, especially biblical discussions, they aren't ready for. They aren't ready for it. They come up with all of these private interpretations of Scripture, and the Scriptures themselves say they are no private interpretation. It is what it is. It says what it says. You can't make it say something different. But Peter also addressed this, and Peter was making reference to Paul's letters. He was saying that they're hard to understand for the unlearned and unstable, meaning you don't have the milk yet. That's why Paul's letters are hard for you to understand. Yet those people, those double-minded people, as he called them, they're always going to rest on Paul's letters because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They hide in those vague spaces, is what Paul was saying. So, is what Peter was saying. Peter was the chief apostle. He was aware of what all the other apostles were doing. So he read Paul's letters before they went out. And he said, oh shit, yeah, this is going to trap some of these people up. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tricky for them unlearned people. And they always run to Paul's epistles. An epistle is a letter. And they get confused and they get stuck because they don't have the context of who Paul was even talking to. They don't know. What you got need is somebody who has experience, who has some wisdom, is going to break it down for you and counsel you.
Right.
Proverbs 12 and 15. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearken unto counsel is wise. See, a fool think he know everything. Oh, I got to see it for myself. They say statements like that. Well, I hear what you're saying, but I got to see it for myself. Well, the Bible, God is telling you you are a fool if you're not going to seek out wise counsel. Again, that's like we come running out of a burning building and we tell somebody, hey, man, don't go in there. That building's on fire. And they say to us, oh, I need to see that fire for myself. I don't believe you. So then they run up in the building and get burnt up. That's what we got going on in today's society with our men. We telling them, hey, man, we've been seeing this shit all our lives. All of our lives we've been seeing this. We don't want y'all to run. And hell, we just spent 30 years trying to get out that building. Don't you run into that building. We got to do something different, or you need to do something different.
And look, we understand that this isn't a new concept either. We were the same way when we were young men.
True.
You know, we didn't want to listen to our elders and believe that they had learned and lived experience and were actually trying to direct us in the right path and actually save us from having to do and go through some of the same troubles that they're going through. You know what I'm saying?
That's your phone ringing or mine?
Yeah, that's mine.
Oh, okay.
You know, we went through the same stuff.
Well, even more so, like we tell the women all the time, we're better than our fathers, statistically. We're better than our grandfathers, statistically. So, young men, you have a better crop of men to get counsel from than we did. Take advantage of it. Because those older men didn't talk to us. They didn't talk to us. And a lot of them were similar to the women. They didn't want to challenge the women, which is why we are here. Generation X is the first generation to start challenging the status quo. The baby boomers didn't do that. They were too busy getting high and drunk and whatever else they were doing.
They were too busy with the free love and you know,
the hippie shit, right?
That whole let's all just smoke a joint and go out in the field and you know
sing kumbaya and shit.
Yeah, you know, they took the liberal movement and some of them actually made it turned it into the beast it is now. I mean, they just completely bastardized the whole concept and really the true definition of what a liberal is. Because if you recall, when we were young men, being a liberal still meant that you wanted to be free from government.
I got some comments. Let me try to keep up with them. Let's see here. Grammy and Papa, Angry Snowman, your mic is low. We already did that. Never mind. V, are you using StreamYard? Yes, I am. And then she said, LOL, or he said, LOL, I think it's Grammy. LOL, we need to fix that. I'm not sure what she's talking about. Grammy and Papa, I'll come back and say facts. Grammy and Papa, again, with, I have information about using a chainsaw. Yeah, but do you have experience using a chainsaw, which is more valuable?
Uh-oh.
So yeah, in other words, we could read the owner's manual or the user manual on how to turn the chainsaw on, how to put gas in it, how to put oil in it. But the person who has the experience is going to be a little bit more valuable, the knowledge. See, what we have here, a lot of these young kids are, oh, I can read the manual myself. I don't have to listen to you, Grammy and Papa. I don't have to listen to y'all, even though you've been using the chainsaw for 30 damn years. We don't have to listen to you because we got the owner's manual. We got the information. What we're saying is kind of what you and Grant, what you and Papa say all the time. Hey, listen to the people who have the fucking experience, the knowledge. And that knowledge that was, I'm sure with that chainsaw over a 30-year period, you've made some mistakes. That's what these young people need to understand. That owner's manual isn't going to help you avoid mistakes, but that experience and knowledge and wisdom will.
Well, see, that's what you just touched on something that I like to try and point out to people quite often is the mistakes part. Mistakes are an integral part of coming into manhood itself. And actually fully growing and developing into who you are. You know, right now we have what I want to call a society that wants to make mistakes and failures something that is bad that you don't want to have happen to you. When in all reality, if without mistakes and failures, you don't learn lessons, and without learning lessons, you don't gain the information to get the knowledge.
Kind of like I remember getting into an argument with my ex-wife about riding a bicycle, and the bicycle for my kids came with training wheels, and she couldn't understand why the kids couldn't figure out how to ride the bike with the training wheels. And I said, I kept telling her, we got to take the training wheels off. But they're going to fall. I said, exactly. Yes, they have to fall. As soon as we took the training wheels off, in less than a week, my son learned how to ride that bike because he got tired of falling. But see, them training wheels prevented him from falling, and it was like a safety net. And that safety net wouldn't learn how to let him figure out how to balance the bike and prevent it from falling over and tipping over. But once I took them training wheels off, he figured it out because he was allowed to make a mistake now and hit rock bottom.
Well, and why would you willingly learn something that you actively don't have to learn? If you have something
right.
that is actually doing for you what you need to do, then you're not going to put the effort in to learn. It isn't until you are forced to have to do it on your own and figure it out and find the nuances and the differences to make it to where that bike don't fall over. You know, like with my middle daughter, same thing. I didn't take it all. I went a little easier on her. I took one training wheel off, and she rode it with one training wheel for a couple days. Then when I took the second training wheel off, she took off right down the road. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I don't like the idea of a lot of these kids being afraid to make mistakes and to fail at things, because failing means that you're putting the work in. Making mistakes means that you're actually putting effort and work into accomplishing something that is going to bring fruit into your life.
And it's okay.
It's
okay to fail.
Because
learn.
With every failure, you learn a new way to do it to the right way.
Or not do it.
Right.
Failure
leads to
Edison
success.
failed 10,000 times. He failed 10,000 times. So he learned 10,000 from his perspective. He didn't fail. That's what he was famous for saying. Oh, I didn't fail. I learned 10,000 ways on how not to do it.
Right. And that's what we need to be teaching mainly our young men. You know, the easy way out isn't always the right way out. The easy path isn't always the right path. And the scripture tells you that.
For those of you who are new to my channel, I am drinking tea today. I always keep some hydration with me. I am drinking tea. If I'm ever drinking something stronger than tea, believe me, I will let y'all know. It's a rare thing, but every now and then I take a shot of the yak, you know, every now and then. But I'm drinking tea right now. I'm burning my pineapple. That's that smoke y'all see. You know, I got to keep my pineapple going. Shout out to Third Phase Oils and Incense on Graham Street in Charlotte, North Carolina. You can look them up. They have a website and they ship nationwide. They're fabulous, y'all.
Hey, and shout out to Jay Foster and Chris Henderson. They're a couple of my Chris Henderson is one of my oldest friends from Ohio, man.
Right.
I've known him since I was about 18 years old, man. And then Jay, I met him. He's one of my first friends I met on YouTube. You know, so shout out to them for coming over here and you know, share this out. Let's help get this guy's podcast growing, man. Because
please.
What he's wanting to try and do is do something totally different, where we're having discussions with men about things that should be being discussed, talking about things that young men should be hearing to try and find a way to bring solutions to issues.
Yeah, we got to empower them. We got to give them tools, man. Because like Angry Snowman and I said earlier, we weren't given shit, man. We were given a key to the house and figure it out yourself is kind of how we all grew up for the most part in Generation X. We were latchkey kids. Grammy and Papa, I'm going to choose the person with wisdom first, then knowledge. Well, Grammy, you can't do that because you need wisdom to have the insight. You don't have it to even to be able to discern who is wise and who is not. That's why you got to get the knowledge first. You got to get the information.
No,
you got to get
I get what he's saying. What we watch YouTube saying. He's saying if he had to choose going to a person who is a wise man or a person who is a knowledgeable man, he's going to choose getting his lesson from the wise man over the.
But the thing is, you don't have the information to be able to discern the two apart. You don't know because you yourself don't have insight. You got to get the knowledge first, which is that experience. And your experience is going to show you, okay, this person doesn't quite have as much knowledge or wisdom as this other guy. You gotta experience. You can't take out the experience aspect of it. Jay Foster, what it do, brother? Appreciate you. That was your people, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sitting here while we're chopping it up, trying to share out to as many people as I can.
Jay Foster also said classic liberalism. I'm not sure what he was referring to.
Classic liberalism, less government, more freedom of the American people. That's what classic liberalism.
No, I just didn't know what he was referring to when he said that. I don't know what we were talking about. I got a little bit behind. Let's see. What else we got? Everybody's kind of greeting each other. I'm not going to read that. Chris Henderson is in the building. Yo, appreciate you coming by. What else we got?
Yeah,
all right.
You want to hear something crazy? Chris Henderson also was the first guy to ever get me to have enough courage to get on a stage.
Oh, that's what's up. Let's see what Jay Foster says. What's he saying here? Can you read that? Wait a minute. Let me click off it for a minute. I can see it better.
He says taking an L doesn't mean.
Oh, that's an L. I was like, is that an I?
It's just a lesson. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, exactly, and that's what we're trying to promote. You know, somewhere along the way, like failing just became like an embarrassment. You know, and you got to pay your dues, man. You got to have time on job, as we learn in the military, for that reason, so you can get that exposure and you can see your theories be put to work. You know, this might work. Okay, try it out. Okay, it didn't work. Let me try something different. You know, we've been making these boys believe that they got to get it right the first time. Or because they did get it right the first time, they're going to have some guaranteed result in the future. Hey, you might have got lucky this time. Just because you're doing well right now in your 20s or even your early 30s doesn't mean when you get 40, you're not going to have any failures. And then sometimes those men that had success early as young men, and then they have failures come later in life, they can't recover. They don't know how to rebound from it. That's what we're trying to tell you guys. You're going to have failures. You're going to have failures. It's not the end of the world. It's part of the process.
Oh, yeah. It's a necessary part of the process. It's like the other day when we were talking and I said, I think one of the biggest things that's being stolen from our children right now is, you know, them having to learn how to swim through the sea of the social pecking order in school with this whole push on equality and, you know, the anti-bully movement and not allowing children, especially male children, to be children.
Right.
You know,
you got to have that bullying, man. Bullies were important in school, man. They took that out.
That was part of gaining knowledge and
you had to overcome that shit, man. Now you talk to these guys, even if it was
well, I'm just saying, even if the knowledge was just something just as simple as learning a new way to blend in, so they didn't recognize you and you didn't stick out.
Yeah, I mean, they took that out, man. They took a lot of things out and coddled these guys and gave them timeouts, and they're fucking emotional. They don't know what happens if somebody raises their voice at them. Oh, you're being emotional and you're screaming at me and red raging. Man, shut the fuck up. Pull your jock strap up and suck it up.
Right.
It's not the end of the world.
Absolutely. I mean, these kids are being sold at a young age a bad bill of goods, man. I mean, they're being told that they're all equal to one another. And the reality of it is you have to have those that are lesser than others, that aren't as good as others. Not everybody can be the general. Not everybody can be the head of the corporation. You got to have those that are there to do the work as well. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
It was always a hierarchy. That was the first thing Moses did when he rescued the children of Israel and he brought them out of Egypt. The first thing he did was organize them in a hierarchy. You know, but you know, he arranged everybody by the house of their fathers, and you know, you were a soldier, and then you got promoted. You might have been a soldier of 50 or a soldier of 10, and then you got promoted to a soldier of 50, and then eventually you got promoted to an officer, and you might have been an officer of 10, and then an officer of 50, and going all the way up to deacons and bishops. It was always a hierarchy. Always.
And when they destabilize the family unit where the hierarchy's foundation rests, that's when the hierarchy.
That's where we are now.
That's why we are where we are today. Because everybody that's listened to me talk knows that is my main talking point.
You got to fix the
destruction and
family.
destabilization of the family, the family unit, because the family is the foundation of everything, of all society.
Hey man, I tried out some of my intros, man. You didn't even tell me how you like my intros.
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. I really dug the Thanos one.
You like that?
Yeah, because dude, it just cut off right at the end when he said, "I am inevitable."
Thanos has always been one of my favorite characters, even growing up, man.
He's a necessary evil.
I remember watching or reading the Infinity Gauntlet.
Right.
Or rather, actually, before the Infinity Gauntlet, it was the Thanos Quest, where he was actually gathering the stones and he was defeating everybody. He was outsmarting them, you know, all of the celestial beings who had the stones. I mean, that 2-part graphic novel was fucking one of my favorites. And I remember as a kid, I was like, man, this would make an awesome movie. So, man, when the Avengers did it, I was like, finally, somebody's listening to me, man.
Yeah, they didn't do it justice, though, man. That really should have been more like a 4, 5, 6-part, trilogy.
Yeah, well, I mean, they left out Silver Surfer and they left out Adam Warlock, so it kind of didn't go with the original story. So, and then they took Death out of the story because Death was a huge motivator in the comic book. Why Thanos was doing what he was doing and where he got the idea from. He got the idea to kill half the universe's population when he was staring into the Death's infinity well. Mm-hmm. He was in love with Death, and Death wouldn't pay him no attention. And he was really doing it for love. He was trying to make Death love him. That was Thanos' story.
But what's crazy is while he was doing it, he was a straight up simping for something.
Simping for Death.
But what he didn't realize until it finally all came to fruition that what he was doing was actually a necessity. I mean, in order for there to be balance, he had to go along the quest he was on. I mean, that was literally his purpose in life. That was his sole purpose, was to go on this quest and to put an end to half the population.
He didn't care, man. If nobody agreed with him, he didn't care. He's like, nobody understands this but me, man. I'm the one that gazed into that well, man. I know what I seen. I know what I saw. I know what I got to do. Crazy.
There was no order. There was chaos, and he had to bring balance to everything. And that's why, in a sense, it's bad that he's labeled the necessary evil, because really all he was doing was the task that he was charged with by the man who created him. If you really think about it, sounds to me like he was on a quest that was given to him by the Lord himself.
Thanos' quest. So we're going to come back to Proverbs. Proverbs 11 and 14. Where no counsel is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Proverbs 19 and 20. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end. Proverbs is full of these sayings. Proverbs 28 and 26. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool, but whoso walketh wisely, he shall be delivered. Now, this one is this is a little bit more personal for me. This is Isaiah 58 and 1. People, I think they confuse guys like us. Why we really don't give a fuck about people's feelings. It's biblical. I'm sorry. Here it is, Isaiah 58 and 1. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and shew my people their sins, their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. So here God is saying, cry aloud and spare not. Forget their feelings. Tell them what I told you to tell them. That's what Thanos was doing. That's what we do on a nightly basis. People think, oh, you're being mean. No, I'm trying to save your fucking life. I'm trying to keep you from running into that ditch, young man.
I actually give a shit about your future. If I didn't give a shit, I'd keep sugarcoating.
We wouldn't say nothing.
I'd sugarcoat it for you and let you keep believing the bullshit you're believing.
We lie to you like they've been doing for generations. We're screaming at you. Get out the street. The car is coming. That's us. We don't have time to say it in a nice way that's going to make you feel warm and fuzzy.
Nah, because
we don't care.
You ain't listening to nice anyhow.
You ain't going to hear it nowhere. We go, hey, watch out, that car's coming. You ain't going to hear us. But I say, hey, get out the fucking street, idiot. You're going to react to that.
Even if it's just to look up long enough to pay attention to your surroundings.
Mr. Nancy said it best. Angry gets shit done. So angry snowmen get shit done too.
I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying. You know, and the thing is we are necessary. People like us are necessary. You know, because without us to sit there and just put it in your face bluntly, let you know, look, dude, you're screwing up. Stop listening to these fuckboys out here. Stop.
We're giving you solutions. We're not just saying, we're just not out here talking shit. We're saying, hey, don't go that way. Come over here and do it this way. We tried that shit that you're trying, and it ain't never gonna work. This is listening to wise counsel. We get that. Talking to these divestors is foolish. It's never going to work. Talking to these passport bros is never going to work. It's a small percentage of the people. That's not what's keeping families apart. We got to figure out and start talking about how to bring families together. And passports and divestors aren't our issue.
I'll tell you what's keeping families apart. You got too many scorned men and women out here on these big platforms with a big voice, and they're being heard all over the place,
right? Misleading
people to believe that it ain't worth it because all you're going to do is lose, that there's nothing to be gained. Because
they got information. They don't have any experience. So what they're doing is they got theory.
Well, I mean,
I think or I feel this ain't going to work. Where's your experience to back it up?
The problem, though, is there are even some of these men and women out here that do have lived experience, and they still only want to share the negative. They don't, they focus so much on the negative aspects of everything when it comes to men and women building a family. I mean, if you really think about it, what is the only thing that we are literally put here on this earth and tasked to do? For man to be with woman and for us to procreate and create new life. That is our real only purpose. And you have men and women out here that are going out of their way to stifle that from being done because they only want to share their failures and their flaws. And they don't want to take these failures, these L's that they've taken, and use them as a learning tool and get back up on their feet and try and go at it again.
Well, what's that?
You know, there's not far enough people out here sharing the positives and the great things about marriage, having a wife, having kids, having all this stuff at home to come home to share with. What good is life? Really, what good is life in this existence if you have nobody to share it with?
That's crazy. So listen up, everybody. We are simulcasting live on YouTube, the People's Podcast. We are also on Facebook, V Speaks. And I think I'm on Twitch as well. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I have dropped a link for the chat. Anybody wants to come up, we will take questions. Now, keep in mind, it's not your standard panel, man. We're not going to do the foolishness. So you're going to ask your question and give answers as simply and clearly as possible. We're not going to do the monologues over here. So, but we want to entertain some questions. Anybody who's welcome to come up, no matter where you are, you can follow that link to StreamYard. So,
you know, I'll be honest with you, V. I've always had people ask me how I managed to get some of the jobs I got, being that I have no college degree and I was a high school dropout all the way up until about 6 years ago. You know, and I've had some really good jobs, you know.
Yeah.
I've ran through them with you, you know, running melt furnaces and foundries, being foremans for construction companies, you know, running electrical wire, learning how to be a data technician, being in charge of making sure that the main and backup core facilities and all the independent data facilities for Procter & Gamble, the main plant in Ohio, was all being maintained and ran properly. And I never went to school a lick for any of that shit. Any of it. Don't have no degrees. And like I said, I just graduated high school 6 years ago. How did I do that? How is it that I was able to accomplish these things? Because I went out, and when I didn't know anything,
you got the information.
I shut up and listened, for one. I only opened my mouth when I had a question because the information wasn't already given to me. Otherwise, I shut up and I listened and waited for them to give me the information that I needed when they thought that I needed it.
And that's a key principle, even amongst Israelites. You know, when somebody first comes into what we call the truth, one of the things we tell men specifically is shut up, listen, and learn in silence. Just listen. We know you got questions. Just listen. A lot of them questions are going to be answered if you just listen. And it takes years. You're not going to get this right away. Some things you're not even ready to understand yet. You got to get the basics first. Listen and learn in silence. So when I say that to women get offended, but we also tell men that shit. Actually, we tell men that more than we tell women. But let's see, we got anybody coming up?
You'd be surprised how more responsive, just even in your workforces, like with a lot of your trades and stuff that actually pay good money. You'd be surprised how much more important lived and actual real world experience is than these degrees and these certifications. If you have real world experience, you know, applicable time on the job you're trying to do, it shows in the interview process when they're asking you questions about things. There's ways that they can test you on your knowledge real easily. Most generally, a lot of this stuff, most people would prefer somebody who has, you know, experience in the field, as they call it, over somebody who just got out of college and they have to train.
Yeah, because they don't have that seasoning. And you know, that's when you of course you're going to consider natural ability or inner ability, but all of that being equal, you know, you still want somebody who's done something. What did you do while you were in college? Did you just go to class, or did you also have a job? You know, were you doing some volunteer work? We want to see what else you've done besides open up that book.
All right, a lot of these kids coming out of these colleges, man. You know, they're wanting to jump right from high school to college to right up at the top earners,
and be CEO, man. Right?
You know, and not do all the work that it took to get there. They want to skip right past all the stuff in the middle, all the work.
Right.
You know, and I think that whole mentality also that plays into why a lot of these young folks' relationships are failing. I know it played into mine early on. That and blaming other people for problems you create yourself.
Right. Who's that just came in with us?
It's Jay Foster.
Jay Foster, how you doing, my brother?
What's up,
right,
Da Vinci?
that's my alias, Da Vinci for the clever.
Okay. Glad. Welcome to the People's Channel, man. What you got for us?
You know what? I go. There's an issue when you were talking about the kids shutting up and listening, but also it's like today, like going into the workforce, what I've actually noticed, right? It's even got very, very woke, and well, I ain't gonna say woke, but now these days inside the workforce in generalization, if you're working in the factories or anything like that, they take, even though you do know, they take you as you being dumb. Or else if you're too smart, then they think of you as being intimidating.
So what you're saying is what the wife, you're laying it out like the wife did. They've taken what used to be a learning curve in school and put a learning curve into the workforce.
But it's not even just that. You could do the job exactly like them, and if you do it better than them, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it wasn't like that really. I started noticing it about 2012 when I worked for Amazon, when I broke the record for picking, and I did like 435 pieces in an hour. So then after I sat there and I beat their record, then that's when shit hit the fan. You know what I'm saying?
Got offended. Somebody got scared. Somebody above you got scared.
And I wound up getting, then I got written up so bad that I got fired after that.
Yeah.
And that's something.
How old are you?
I turned 50 on Friday.
Okay, so you're Gen X like us. Okay.
Yeah.
Where you from?
Originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Well, although I'm back in Pennsylvania right now, and stuff like that. Yeah, and I was listening in. And stuff like that, and I have no dispute in what you're, on what y'all saying, but also at the same time, it's this workforce, and also I've known in different workforces and stuff like that. Now it's to the point that these employers think they own you.
Well, like it's been almost like that for a long time, man. The entirety of my life in the workforce, they felt like they've owned you.
Well, that started like around.
You got a divorce.
That started like around Hurricane Katrina, like 2005, 2006. That's where we saw the paradigm shift, where it became an employer's market versus an employee's market. Well, and this is the first time since then that employees are starting to get a little power back. And these companies are scared, man.
Well, to touch on that, I think that something that just dawned on me with him bringing that up is I think that also the employers and the way they were forcing people to work all these extreme hours, mandatory overtime, stuff like that, forcing them away from their homes and their families also helped with the degradation of the family unit.
Exactly.
I agree.
I mean, it's like this. I mean, I'm even in a position right now, you know what I'm saying, that I really don't have the time to do anything. That's one reason why I haven't really been online and all that stuff like that, or even been on my own podcast. I just don't have the time. The only time I have the time to actually say something is when I'm on Facebook doing a rant,
right?
And stuff like that. And it's very, and it's like in a lot of ways it strips you of your sanity too.
if you allow it to.
Yeah, I want to tell you what though. I'm one of those dudes that I like my time to myself to create and stuff like that.
Right.
You know?
I feel
But
that.
you know, Jay, you know what I really think the problem is, man? You're a Steelers fan, man. That's the whole problem. I'm messing with you, man.
It's all good, dude. But when you're talking about the kids, you know what I'm saying? These kids coming up. And what's funny was what caught my attention on this whole conversation is that we need bullies. And I'm 50 years old, and I want to be honest with you. The bullies were the ones that taught me how to fight back.
Yeah.
Yes. They taught you how to maneuver through life.
Right. You know, I remember one time I was getting my butt kicked. My mom drove by the blame car, and I was on the ground. This is when I think that's 2 fights I've lost out, probably about 50. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But on that fight, though, my first fight I won, I was on the ground, and my mom was in a car. Get your ass up and fight back. And my mom didn't do nothing. She told me to fight back, and I had to fight my way back on my feet.
My grandmother always told me, hey, if you're getting jumped, you grab one of them and beat the hell out that one.
Oh, yeah. These days, man, I've been there, too. Then I beat 2 of them up, and then the third one came out with a gun. That's when I was getting robbed. I haven't really carried cash since. You know? But bullies are a necessary evil inside school.
Yes.
Because it teaches boys how to be men. And the only thing we're doing right now, man, we're raising cunts.
Yeah, we learned how to overcome some adversary. You got to have adversary. And if you don't have an antagonist in your life, what's the story? What is a story without an antagonist?
Yeah.
It's a fucking diary, man. It's like touchy-feely bullshit. And it's not an entertaining story. You got to have an antagonist, and you got to overcome it.
Well, and look, that's why a lot of these men or young men are getting into high school or getting out of high school, going into college or into the real world, and they're raging the way they are because they should have already done that shit in middle school. In middle school,
right? So then they run across me and you, Snowman, on a fucking podcast, and they get in their fucking feelings and they're yelling at us saying, shut your ass up.
Well, and in reality, they ought to be lucky that it was a podcast that they ran across someone like us on and not in real life.
And that's what I say. And I say that all the time. I tell them, they get mad at me when I say it. Oh, V, you're being a bully. I said, no, I'm being real. Because if we were having this conversation in person as a group of men, somebody would have got punched in their fucking face.
I'd already knocked a couple of your teeth out.
You'd
have got that free dental work that you've been looking for.
But see, they ain't never heard nobody say that shit to them. These millennials.
No, we can't do that. That's toxic masculinity.
You're goddamn right it is.
And that's even in the workforce now to where employers aren't allowed to reprimand their employees the way they should now.
Oh, check this out, right? Now this dude, right, is about only weigh $150. All right. This dude was was about like, what was it? I say about 240, 250, right? And it's been about a month. I was working at this factory, right? So this dude just kept on with this over my shoulder, just being a, you know, well, I'm gonna use the word being a bully. All right. Well, he thought he was being a bully. You know what I'm saying? But I was just keeping my cool for about 2 months until I sat there and I looked and I stopped. And I sat there, I go, look, man, you know what I'm saying? I go, we can either handle this, we can either have this with diplomacy, or we can handle this everything on the table, and you will be in a hospital for at least 2 months after I get done with you. You know what this dude went and did? Right after this cat was sitting there threatening me, he went and told the boss. Right, they brought me into a blame room. Okay, well, he said you threatened him. I said, what do you mean? I was like, he was threatening to me. I went to y'all 2 or 3 times and y'all didn't do nothing. So I had to sit there and step up myself. Well, you said, you threatened him. No, I didn't threaten him that he was going to be in a hospital. I don't threaten nobody. I promised.
I just assured him this is going to be the result of his actions.
You know what I mean? Point blank. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how big you are.
I don't have a problem with that.
Right. But you know what? I still got fired.
Of course, because we live in this, as you alluded to when you first started speaking, we live in this bullshit, quote unquote, woke culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you ask? Are you woke? You only ask sleepy people that shit. If somebody is walking around functioning, you don't go up to them and say, "Hey man, are you woke?" Why? Because it's fucking obvious. You only ask somebody who is sleepy.
These employers want drones, not men.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They can't handle men. They can't handle a person that will step up. You know what I'm saying? And play their card. You know what I'm saying? To the person that's at the dude. I don't care how big you are. You will be in a hospital. I promise you. You know what I'm saying?
Here's what kills me about these guys. You know, they look at. Are you married, Jay?
No, I'm divorced.
How long were you married?
10 years.
Okay. So they look at guys like us three. We have decades in with women, right? And they tell us we're the guys who hate women. But the guys who have no history with a woman for any period of time, oh, those are the guys we want y'all to be like. I'm like, are y'all fucking shitting me? I spent 20 years with one woman.
Mm-hmm.
You spent 10 years. That's 30 years right there.
And shoot, and they barely started growing. They barely have a decade of having hair in her dick.
And I'm like, listen, man, I love women. And I have no problem communicating with women of any type. But these soft ass dudes that we're raising, and now they want to run overseas and be passport bros. Hey, listen, I'm all for that. If you got the money and you have the cultural awareness to operate in an overseas environment, by all means, do what you do, boo. But for the majority of men, we don't have that option. We don't have that option. So what is the solution for the majority of men? Again, I'm not against passport brothers. I've traveled internationally. Hell, the first time I ever left the country was in '88. I was in middle school the first time I left the country, so I'm all about that life. But that ain't for everybody. Most of these men can't get across town, let alone to another state, let alone to another country. That's not a viable solution. We need to talk about realistic solutions, not pipe dreams for the majority of us men.
I say put all these boys in the ring, man, and let them get a proper ass whooping.
Oh, you want that Joker shit? Oh, you want that Joker shit? The Keith Ledger Joker, you know, he said, "Hey, we only got one opening, and hey, y'all gonna have to fight this out. we're hiring. Only one of y'all gonna get the job. Go."
You know,
I love that. I love that movie. That was Dark Knight Rises.
You know, I mean,
love that shit.
You know what? Because I tell you what, Joe, man, half these men I'm ex-military. I've been overseas. I went to 17 different countries myself.
What branch were you?
I was Army.
Okay. I'm ex-Navy.
All right, yeah, I was stationed in Germany.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I went all over the place. I was in the Middle East and all that. I was one of the first. I mean, shit. Wait a minute.
You're not that guy who shot Jay in the arm, are you?
Nah.
Okay.
No. I'm one of the first. I'm one of the first. No, I'm one of the first one. I probably taught you how to use SINGAR radios, and you didn't even know it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but anyways, the whole thing is that the whole system got to change and be reformed. Number one is we got to get the wokeness and all this bullshit out of the black military and get these fairy generals out. Bring General Flynn back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Also, after that, I believe that, that I don't think the military should be voluntary anymore. You know what I'm saying? I think if you're not going to college, then you get 2 years, and you have to do 2 years in the military. Period.
You know, that concept was explored. What was that movie? Starship Troopers. Your citizenship was not guaranteed unless you served in the military. So you had to do, a certain amount of time to become a citizen in that futuristic America. And I always thought about that concept. Yeah, even to vote, you got to be a citizen. So if you don't put that work in, no matter what class of economic class your parents are from or any of that kind of stuff, if you're not a citizen, you don't vote. I'm with that, man. I don't have a problem with that.
Right, every other country does it.
I don't have a problem with that.
For every other country,
you got to have some skin in this game.
Because you know what? Because every other country, I've been to Germany, Israel is really big on that. But all these different countries, their military is not voluntarily. They have to go to the military.
I was talking to a young lady on the panel the other night, and I asked her a simple question. And I said, have you ever heard of the selective service? And she said, no. I said, are you shitting me? You have no concept of what men have to go through in this country to get the same shit you're given. Every man before they turn 18 or when they turn 18 have to sign up for the selective service. Yep. She had never heard of it. And this is like a 30-something-year-old woman. She had never heard of it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I had to tell her that if every man has to sign up for the draft at 18, and if they're given 3 months to fill out that card that's sent to them.
Yeah,
and if you don't
get financial aid or loans and certain things, there's a lot of benefits you don't get if you don't fill that damn card out.
The main one is your freedom. You'll go to prison.
Yeah, you'll go to prison.
But here was a good thing about it, though. If you went inside the military, you did your time. They don't even have to worry. You don't have to worry about that after because you did your time.
You did your time.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm with that. I have no problem with that society. Like I said, Starship Troopers was always one of my favorite movies, but I always thought that was a very interesting concept.
I think it should be mandatory.
A citizen. You're not guaranteed a citizenship just because you were born here. You got to put some work in. You got to have some skin in the game. I don't have a problem with that. Because a lot of these boys ain't doing shit.
You think women should too? You think women should do the same thing?
Well, that's what they did in Starship Troopers. It was everybody.
Yeah, that's true. It was.
But that's where I draw the line. Women do not need to be involved in men's shit. That's why men's shit's fucked up because
they could do support shit. We need support workers.
Look, the thing is, if women are going to be involved in the military, there's two places they can be. They can be in the office or they can be in the operating room.
Well, they got to run the cafeteria. They got to run them daycares. We got jobs.
Basically, look, dude, that you're right along the same path that I'm talking about. But as far as being out in the field,
but you know what though? On that note, one of my favorite movies is 300.
Right.
Okay. When the one guy says, "Why did you let your wife speak?" Because queens raise kings. And also,
she said it even deeper than that. She said Spartan women make real men. Like, you better shut your punk ass up, nigga. I make real men. I was
that's the woman I want.
But see, the truth of the matter is the real reality of it is queens or women don't raise men and fathers. Nor do they raise wives and women. What they do is they nurture.
She wasn't being feminist at all in that. She was just letting that dude know, like, hey, I'm a different breed of woman over here. I know my place.
Right, I know my place over here. But I get that. But what I'm trying to point out is it takes a man. It takes a man in the home to teach his daughter how to be a wife, to raise her to be a wife.
Oh, yeah,
It takes a man in the home to teach his son how to be a man and a husband and a father.
That's real.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies. I might have to watch that shit tonight, man. I love 300, man. I love 300.
I didn't like the second one. I couldn't watch
it.
What I will give them for it, if that to me that quote when she said that it was more so as like women are the ones who actually birth the kings of Sparta. That's where I saw it coming from.
See, to me, I heard her saying like, "Hey, we in full support of our men over here."
Well, absolutely.
You know, that's what I heard her say. You know, when I heard her say that shit,
because
like I don't give a fuck about your punk ass, man. I operate with real men over
that's
here.
Because they had the hierarchy. They followed the hierarchy to
And
the
that's
teeth.
what she was saying. We got a hierarchy over here. I know my place.
And
my man is a real man, bro.
And she doesn't step up and do anything until the man of the house is gone, and she has to now step in place and keep the house going. And
Exactly.
that's the way it's supposed to be. You know.
And you know what we also saw that concept at? In Fast and Furious, Fate of the Furious, I think that movie was, when they were in Cuba. They had just had the race, so they were about to have the race by the beach. And the dude said something slick to Letty. And Letty was like immediately like, "Oh, you done fucked up now. Like, my man is about to dig in your ass." You should have said that. She didn't check the dude. She didn't check him herself, which she was capable of doing. Letty was a tough girl. She just backed off and said, "My man is here. You don't even know what kind of can of worms you just opened right now." You know.
Like there's a
Dom
movie.
was like,
There's a movie I want to see that comes out September 16th that looks pretty interesting. They said it's based on true events. It's called The Woman King.
I don't want to see that
I'm
bullshit.
not even interested.
I'm not supporting that at all.
I just want to see it because I like the action. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
And stuff.
I'm not supporting any film. They're injecting feminism into so many movies. Did you see the last Predator movie, Prey?
Actually, I like that, dude.
Yeah,
I
but
like
think
that.
about all of the feminism that was injected into that movie.
You know
So the
what?
lead-
I'll be honest with you. And I think this is the problem, and I see this all the time. All right. I'm like this. You know, a turn on for me is a strong woman. You know what I'm saying? It is. You know what I'm saying?
But she wasn't strong. She was goofy. She almost died like 5 times, man. She kept getting rescued by the men over and over and over throughout that movie.
Until she learned.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
That was the unrealistic thing.
Right.
These guys were warriors. They were Comanche warriors, some of the baddest on the planet in history. The Predator went through those guys like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah.
But this little girl is the one that defeated the Predator. Come on, let's be real.
You know what though?
That dude I like this for the ride. The bear.
I'm not going to take. I don't take films all seriously like that. If it's a good story, you know what I'm saying, which it was a good story, I'm pretty much happy with it. You know what I'm saying?
Go back and watch that movie and just look for the feminist elements in it. Really.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'll be honest with you, man. I just want a good story. I don't care. It's the writer. I mean, I could see. The only thing I don't like is when they do gender changes and race swaps. You know what I'm saying?
That's essentially what they did. They essentially put that little girl in a male role. That's essentially what they did.
Right, but the same with you. But basically, what she was an Indian version, basically, of Joan of Arc. And Joan of Arc was a bad bitch.
She was more of an Indian version of Black Widow. She's a 110-pound girl that's kicking ass like that. Come on.
I want to tell you what though. When I went to China, okay.
Yeah.
And I was because I studied Chow Yu Foot Kung Fu.
Okay.
Okay. Dude, I got my ass kicked by a little fucking girl. Okay. I got my ass kicked. All right. I'll tell you what though. I wasn't, man. She was good, but she was doing this shit from birth. I was only doing it for like 6 years.
Yeah, see, that's different though, man.
Huh? But
that's a little different scenario though.
Yeah. But still, she was weaker than me. But you know, she was so blamed. I mean, I'll be honest with you.
But she was proficient in whatever art that she mastered.
But I was pretty much proficient too. But she was just so blatant graceful. You know what I'm saying? She was like a ballerina, man. You know, dude. It was like, dude. You might as well say, man, that she basically moonwalked on her toes and all that stuff, like, and whatever stuff that she did, because you know what, she was bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She was bad. Huh?
No, I'm listening. I was playing on my phone. I was trying to get a copy of this link.
But all in all, man, it goes like for men in generalization, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think men in generalization, dude, they turn to pussies, dude. You know what I'm saying? And they can't take a regular ass whooping, or else, because like, you can't even get into a fight no more and win it, because a couple days later or a few hours later you're going to wind up getting shot.
Well, these kids, man, they've never even come close to. They've never even seen an ass whooping. You know, these young boys, they don't know what an ass whooping is.
I mean, it's a damn shame. Hold on one second. I'm gonna turn. I gotta go. I'm gonna turn my mic off for a second.
Okay.
All right.
It's a hot mess.
Uh-huh.
So did you catch any of my stream I did today? I sent you the link.
Your phone is got static.
Mine?
Yeah.
Mine does?
Yeah. Something changed.
Give me a second. What about now?
Yeah, a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a good conversation, man. I just sent my youngest son, a link, and I was just curious on what his thoughts were on some things. Let's see if he comes up. The little knucklehead probably sleep, knowing him, but he needs to be getting ready for school tomorrow. Tomorrow's his first day of school, so
That should have fixed it there. I said that should have fixed it now.
Nah, it's still a little staticky.
What about now?
Keep talking. Let me hear you.
What about now? Yeah,
better.
Possibly.
A little better. Still a little bit of static, but you're clearer than what you were initially.
Well, maybe
initially you were sounding like
A lot of times it ends
harmonized
up-
be sounding sometimes.
A lot of times it ends up maybe.
There's a lot of feedback on
Is that
here.
better?
No, he still got. That's what I'm telling him, Jay. Right now, he's got some feedback issues.
Man, I tell you what. Let me bounce out and come back.
All right. We'll wait.
Yeah, but
Let's see
right
what
now,
happens.
man, I'll be honest with you. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, and then this is what's really crazy, man. Right? Like it's like this. I do caregiving, right? Home
Right.
caregiving, which you know what, I like it. But you have these girls, because I'm gonna tell you what though, man. I'm gonna be honest, and I don't care if there's any females see this or anything like that. But I'll tell you what. But the majority of the females these days are worthless. You know what I'm
Explain.
saying? Worthless as in no comments. They're not strong like my mother was.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only way I can say. I mean, because now I realize, and that was my mistake with my ex-wife. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? Why? Because you hear women say, "Man, I'm not his mother," or anything. You know what? Man, I tell you what. If I get a woman, then I want a woman that has attributes of my mother. You know what I'm saying? From what I've seen when she did, because I had both parents in the house. You know what I'm saying?
So your mother was not a baby boomer, I'm imagining. She was what, a late generation, silent generation?
She was born in 1950s.
50 what?
I think 55, something like that.
Okay, so your mom is a baby boomer like mine. My mom was 56.
Right, around there. She graduated high school in like 70, 71, 72. 71, because I was born in 72.
Mm.
And I always seen my mom hold it. My dad, when my dad was down, my mom held it down, held it. My mom and my dad both worked. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My mom and dad been together for 50 years. You know what I'm saying? Well, in 51 years, something like that. So
Right.
knowing that, you know, even though me and my mom don't look eye to eye, you know what I'm saying? Because like she's a lot more conservative. Well, she's a lot more conservative than I am. I'll just leave it at that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
I'm
get it.
conservative, but yeah. But
My mom is the same
but
generation, so I get it.
yeah, you know, but looking at it right, I like compared to what my mom was. Did go
Hello.
overboard in some aspects because this is how our generation fucked up. Because I think they really, really overdid it. You know what I'm saying? As
No,
in,
explain. What do you
as
mean?
in, I'm thankful for my ass whoopings I had when I was a kid, right?
Right.
And for about 95% of them. But that 5% made a big difference that I thought that was unnecessary in me as a man.
Okay.
Too much control. As in,
Hello.
you there? I think they
Hello.
had like,
Oh.
hello,
Yeah, I got you.
hello.
Yeah, I hear you now.
You hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think what they had was I don't know, man, like too overprotective. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is just the way. I mean, I would have done stuff differently. I mean, like only I had was a stepson. You know what I'm saying? And my first kid was was an abortion. So really, I never raised a kid from a jit up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But me,
Hold on one
imagine
second.
myself. Yeah.
Mr. Bam, is that you?
Yes, sir.
Hello, son. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
So right now you're live on my podcast right now, and we're talking to Mr. Jay Foster. So I just wanted you to jump into this conversation we're talking about, and we'd be interested in getting your perspective. So Jay, this is my 14-year-old son. He's a Zoomer. You heard me, Jay?
Yeah, I hear you. How you doing?
Yeah, this is my 14-year-old son. So feel free to ask him whatever you want to ask him. This is live and unfiltered.
Okay,
Hello.
give me 1 second. I got something to do real quick, and
Yeah.
yeah. Let me mute my mic real quick. I says I care, Gabe, so I got some little bit of something I
Oh,
gotta
okay,
do real
yeah.
quick.
Do what you gotta do. Come back.
All right.
Did you want me to
Yeah.
turn on my camera?
That's up to you. It's not necessary. You don't have to.
Okay.
You don't have to. You ready for school tomorrow?
No, I'm not ready.
What do you
No,
mean
I'm
you're
not.
not ready?
Why would I be ready to go back to school?
Because no matter what you feel like, quote unquote, your ass going to school.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
You asked me, am I ready? You asked me if I'm ready.
Yeah, you
Not
should be
if I have a
prepared.
choice to go to
Okay,
school.
maybe I didn't use the correct word. Are you prepared?
Oh, yes, I am prepared.
Okay, see, now you're right. Words matter. I stand corrected. Words matter.
Because
Words
the
and
choice, because the words that you use, it kind of gave me like choice.
here go your school calling me right now. What do they want? I want to talk to them. They always call me, man.
I'm sorry
What's up,
about my
though?
cover. I have a cover right now, but it's like super cold in the house.
Okay.
Like super cold in here.
So you should be excited about going to school, son. You got it's a new year. It's going. Matter of fact, you're the big dog on the campus. You know you're going to be graduating from middle school. This should be I had so much. So when I was in your position, it was 1990 when I graduated middle school. And And that was like one of my favorite years, man. I loved 1990. I had so much fun, man. My senior year of middle school, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna do sports this year?
I am.
What, basketball?
I'm thinking either basketball or track.
You should do both.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you can only do one because basketball is a summer sport. I believe it's either a summer. Yeah, I think it's a summer sport, and then track is also a summer sport. But if basketball is a winter sport and then track's a summer sport, I can do both.
That's usually how it is. Usually basketball comes in October and runs through January, usually. But you got to find out. I'm not sure how your school is running it. But
I actually need to get my clothes out the dryer real quick. See, I woke up today. Yeah, instantly woke up today. I was like, oh crap, I got to do these clothes for school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. I am back.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, where's Snowman at?
I don't know where my father went. Oh, there
Where's
you go.
Where's Snowman at?
All right, I'm back. I had to get some ice.
Yeah. Where's Snowman at?
I don't know. He was supposed to go out and come back in. He hadn't come back in yet. I know he was having some feedback issues or something.
Oh, right. Here's a question. Like, so what they be teaching you in school? This past year, are they doing a lot of that CRT bull crap?
Sir?
Are they doing? Just call me Jay. Do you have the CRT? CRT. Are you getting a lot of CRT bull crap from school?
I honestly don't know.
For me?
I don't really know. I don't really know what my school is doing.
What did they do last year?
Last year was like really like mixy. It was really mixy. Like I didn't really know. Nobody knew nothing. So like one day like your teacher was there, the other day your teacher just retired. Like that's how my school was last year. It was like very mixy. So I mean, I didn't really know anything.
Really? Did they one day the teacher's there and next day? So they didn't even teach you in school?
They teach me. It's just like the way they teach me was very like mixy and just like out there. Like it was like I don't know what a word to describe it, but it was just very like procrastinal, like very.
We've had some crazy things go on here in North Carolina because I have a few friends that are teachers, and what he's describing to me is some of the things the teachers themselves said. You know, these teachers were quitting, and you know, then they were doubling up on classes at last minute. It was you know, since Corona, it's been a lot of crazy things going on here in North Carolina. We're in Charlotte.
Yeah, my brother lives out there in North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Is he in Charlotte?
I don't know where he's at. I've never been there before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, I've been in North Carolina, but I never went to see him and stuff like that. I mean, I'm a solo type dude. The only time we meet is really on family things. My brother got his life. You know, I got mine. You know what I'm saying? He's my brother, yeah, but you know, we're 9 years apart. So by the time he was in high school, I was gone. So I didn't really know my brother like that. All I knew, you know what I'm saying? Be honest with you. You know, I mean, I think that's bad having a brother like 9 years younger than you because you never really got a chance to mold the word. And me and him is like night and day.
Yeah, that's happened to me, man. I'm like almost 15 years apart, my nearest sibling. So yeah, I understand how that is. It's like I'm not even their brother. It's more like I'm an uncle almost. They don't look at me as their brother per se.
Right, right. So it's kind of weird though. It's a weird thing having siblings like almost a decade younger than you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So you're saying is so like what was it like? Did you still get like what about your history? How's the history in school?
The history in the school, like specifically for me on my part, my history for like 2 quarters, like for one semester of that whole entire school, I did not have a history teacher. I did not have the social studies teacher at all.
What?
For the half of semester, like one semester, didn't have a history teacher.
Wow, we had history all year round.
Because
Wow.
the teacher, like I said, the teacher retired. Like, not retired, but just quit. They quit.
All because of the shots and jabs and all that stuff
Yeah,
like
all of
that.
that stuff was crazy, yeah, man.
No,
Oh,
they
wow.
just quit.
So basically they didn't even have a curriculum prepared.
It was like a hodgepodge. They were just throwing things together, the spaghetti method, to see what works.
Oh man, no wonder, man. I tell you what, though, man. You know what? In some aspects, man, I don't even want to be old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I see people all sitting there all going, oh well, because around this time, like a lot of my friends been passing away. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And in some aspects, man, if you look at it, I mean, yeah, it's sad, but also you look at it at one point that you know what, man, they don't know how lucky they are. you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, you don't know. I mean, shoot, man, you don't have to go through and see all this bull crap. I mean, I had a lot of friends that passed away. You know what I'm saying? Recently, basically, to be honest with you, most of them is because of drugs. Now it surpassed the people getting shot. Fentanyl, heroin.
Yeah, I mean, they told I'm a little bit younger than you. I'm 46, and
Okay, I turned 49 on Friday.
so when you were a senior, I was a sophomore, basically.
Right.
I came out of high school in '94.
Okay, I came out in 90.
Okay.
So you were a freshman.
I was a freshman when you was a senior. Okay.
Yeah.
You in there with my cousin Tamika. My cousin Tamika was class of '90. And my cousin Kenyatta, actually, we just had a funeral for him. He would have been 50 this year. Same thing, yeah. Crazy, man. And they told us, though, you're in that age group with me where we were told when we were in middle school, where my son is right now, they told us, man, you'd be lucky to not be dead or in jail by the time you're 21. They used to tell us that in school.
Mm-hmm.
At his age, right now, he's at that age.
You know what?
I tell you what, Bam, it's true. Like, I know so many guys that I went to school with, they are dead or in jail right now.
Oh yeah.
So many of my friends.
Or been to jail.
Or have been to jail for significant periods, right?
Yeah, or been to jail. 'Cause I know some of my friends, they've been in jail, and then they turn a new leaf. You know what I'm saying? And haven't been in jail since. I even have some friends that never been to jail that's in jail right now because they just lost their mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And this is why, I want to open these conversations up with these younger men so that way they could benefit and get that wise counsel from us. And include these guys, include these young men in these conversations. My kids are different because they had their father, but my son could tell you how many of his friends growing up had their fathers. Am I right, man? How many of your friends had dads? Their
If we're
dad.
talking like like know their dads, well, all my friends know
No,
their
I
dads.
meant they
but I mean,
lived
like
in the house
live
with their dad like you did.
1, 2, 2 of my friends,
Shit.
and that's what
Wow.
that's out of 14. That's out
Wow.
of 14.
Let me
Oh, I
see
think
that hat.
growing
What are
up.
you wearing, man? What kind of hat is that? Come closer to your camera. Let's see that. What does it say?
Savage.
You ain't no savage. Take that hat off.
Wow, I like that.
But you know, but Jay, what I'm finding out, like I listen to my son when he's talking with his cousins and his friends. These boys are red pill, man. They're like naturally red pill. Like some of the conversations they have, I don't even say nothing. I just be like ear hustling, and I'd be amazed at what they're talking about. I'm like, whoa. I didn't pick up on that till I was like 25, you know.
Well, I mean,
I want to
oh,
I mean, I'll tell you what, though, man. You sound like you got your head. You sound like you got your head together, man. That's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Just don't let these other people. You know what I'm saying? Get in the way of your goal. Don't go do what they do. You beat your own drum. You know what I'm saying? Beating my own drum is what kept me out of jail.
yes,
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Beating my own drum kept me out of jail. Beating your own drum don't mean, yeah, you're going to do dumb things and stuff like that, right? But for the most part, I beat my own drum. I didn't care what anybody did. You know what I'm saying? I didn't care what anybody. Oh, we're gonna go do this. We're gonna go do that. Nah, man, I'm not down with that, man. But y'all go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go ahead. Y'all do your thing. It doesn't matter where you're at, even inside the hoods. You know what I'm saying? Rule number 1, I tell everybody that people that people do not understand. You know what? Stay in your lane. Mind your own business. Do what you need to do, and don't make no friends.
How do they handle bullies in your school, Sunyata?
Bullies?
Yeah.
Are you asking me how a student handles bullying, or how like?
Yeah, how they handle bullies?
How do the boys handle bullies?
If I'm being honest, there wasn't any bullies.
And that what we said earlier?
Like, there's no bullies, because like you see somebody like me walking up, they're not gonna bully me. Like people like me, like I have people who are bigger than me and as tall as me. Like nobody's gonna bully that person because they
My
knew.
son's tall.
Okay.
He's like 6'2".
Okay, people that was bullied. Have you seen bullies on people that was bullies?
I have.
All right, how do
Tell
they
us about it.
how do they deal with them?
I know there was this one kid who actually tried to bully me before. This one kid, his name was MJ, and he was basically he was in 8th grade, I was in 7th grade. He would bully a lot of people in school, and really, we took it. One of these kids like finally had enough, and they took it to like the administrators. And as far as I know, they didn't do anything.
Right, I'm listening.
They really didn't do anything. So like,
So how did y'all overcome him bullying you? Since the administrators didn't do anything.
Me, I mean, I didn't really pay attention to it, honestly. Like, I didn't pay attention to it. Like, it didn't hurt me. Like, I just kept going about my day. Like,
so I mean, like when you say he was a bully, what was he doing?
The usual stuff, just talking crap about people.
So he was a verbal bully. He wasn't putting his hands on you. He was verbally being a bully.
No. See, if he was putting his hands on people, then that's a different thing. No, he was just verbally bullying people. It wasn't like physical. It was more platonical. Like he wasn't putting,
Wow, to bullies, man, I was all about getting your ass kicked. That was a bully. Now,
right?
Then it's just funny how the definition of bully is somebody just talking shit.
Yeah, it changed, right?
Yeah. Yo, somebody talking
I
shit.
picked up on that too.
Yeah, somebody talking shit. That ain't no boy. You know what I'm saying? But they call it. Now they're calling. Oh, you're being a bully. I ain't being no bully. I didn't touch you.
See, when we were kids, Sunday, a bully was a guy that was trying to stuff you in the locker or take your lunch money from you or, beat you up after school kind of thing. That was what a bully was. You ain't got none of that.
No.
Wow.
I ain't never seen it. Like I said, like any person who would try to bully anybody, really, it wouldn't happen because the other guy, they would end up fighting. Because I mean, nobody's really going to take being bullied.
And another thing too, man. How about like when y'all kids fight, do y'all still fight? Do you fight one-on-one, or people just jump into the fight?
It's a mixture between two. So like two people fighting and like they don't know each other, like they're just gonna fight one-on-one. But then like let's say like we have like a group of people and then like these two have beef and then they go want to fight somebody. If the other dude's losing, of course the other dude, like somebody's gonna like jump in. Like one of the first people.
Back in the days, man, we didn't have jump ins, not unless if it was a scheduled designated fight. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But if it was a fight, nobody jumped in. And
yeah, it was a one-on-one all the time. It was mostly a one-on-one.
Right. And the only type of fights that we had if we had a fight in another school. And even that wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But still they were designated. But I mean, I think, that's just all part of the game. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it came to sports and all that stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we'll meet at McDonald's and we're all going to fight. All right, we'll be there. It was basically like an Outsiders type thing. If you watched the movie Outsiders before, everybody met to fight and we fought. Then after we fought, we went home. You know what I mean? But now, now these cats want to. You sit there and you try to fight. You sit there and you want to fight and stuff like that, and then it always ends with a blame gun.
Yeah, these kids today, more so the millennials than his generation, they're punks, man. They're scared to get their ass whooped, so that's where they automatically run to the gun. I'm gonna shoot you because I'm scared to fight you, kind of thing.
And that's a bitch move. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, all day long.
and then we sit there and we do like your mama jokes and all that. We sit there and just have rip battles. Hey, what was it? In the early 2000s, that's when I started seeing people start getting sensitive. Oh, don't talk about my mama, man. What? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we used to just rag people, man. We had the dozens, and the mama jokes was big when we was kids.
Oh yeah,
your mama's so fat. Your mama's so fat when she roll over, she's still on top, and all them kind of jokes.
Mine. Oh, dude, mine was bad. I wrote mine down, dude.
Yeah, we used to practice them shits.
Dude. Wait, you know what's my notorious one that I always got him? The one I always got him. What? Look, man. He goes, your mama's like a bowling ball. I fingered a bitch 3 times and threw her ass in the gutter.
Wow.
Dude, wow. I was raw, dude. I mean, they didn't want none of me after. I just sit down like in my study halls, right, and just write rags.
Yeah, we used to, man. Look, you be at home, you be like, man, I can't wait to lunch tomorrow. I'm gonna roast this dude.
Yeah.
We used to. It was like almost like preparing for a rap battle and shit.
That's all it was. I think that was the beginning of rap battles right there. When you sit there and you roast each other. Until you couldn't. But it was like until you couldn't say anymore. Or you know what? You got me. I, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna go home and write some real stuff, man. I got you tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be back tomorrow. You got me today.
But But now you can't even roast anybody, though. You know what I'm saying? If roasting was
No,
a
because
sport,
then that would be toxic masculinity. They took that away from us.
yeah, you know. And that was a fun. That was fun for me. Was roasting.
And it taught you how to overcome adversity and not be all uber sensitive. And, now again, when you say something to these guys today, these millennials, they fall apart, man. They fall apart as soon as you raise your voice at them. I
know, man. I tell people, I'm like, I may appear to be nice, but I know as I guess. But in all aspects, I'm not a nice guy. Really, once I'm crossed, right. I'm not a nice guy. I'll sit there, you know what I'm saying? Even it's like, you don't know how hard. I feel like Elroy on playing Pulp Fiction. I'm trying real hard not to kill you.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And people don't understand that. Dude, I go, no, it's an effort for me, man. I was a dude. I was the type of person that will suck you in your mouth when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? And
I'm still that guy.
Huh?
I'm still that guy.
I'm still that guy that suck you in the mouth. Oh, dude, I gotta pray about it every time it comes in my mind.
And I can't stand being around these soft ass guys, man. I'm like, look, man, y'all wouldn't have survived, man. You wouldn't have survived the 90s. You're too soft. I remember I was listening to my son. He was on the phone with a bunch of his friends, and the guy what was the guy, Sonny, out of your friend that I had to cut him off with the girls, all of the girls that had him in his emotions or whatever?
No, because we was in the car, right? And me and my friend Kelvin was just talking, and then this dude, Gillette, my other friend, came over, and he was like, dude, I'm not in the mood today. And we're like, bro, what's wrong? And he was like, I got emotional damage from 3 girls. When I tell you, me and my friend Kelvin roasted this man for a whole 7 hours straight. It was daytime when we started. It was nighttime when we ended.
Listen, they caught my attention when they said that to him. And I said, he said, what? Emotional damage? He's in middle school. Like, what are we talking about here?
Hey, yo.
Like, I'm taking your player card before you even get it, man. You're banned for life. Don't you ever say that again.
Man, as I tell you what, though, man, this next generation coming up, man, it's like this. We got to have our stuff together because these kids ain't going to do nothing for us.
But the fact that him and his other friend immediately rejected that whole premise, I said, there's hope for this generation after all. Like, these young dudes ain't taking that shit, man. Like, get your simp ass out of here, you know. You're in middle school and you're already simping? Really?
Bro.
But, yeah, as I can see now, as I've seen, they changed the definition of what a bully is. A bully is a person that
I wasn't aware of that one. That was a good question.
Yeah, bullies, what they put hands on you, not calling you names and call that a blame bully. I never heard of that in my entire life.
Well, I always raised my kids. I always raised my kids, man, and not to let nobody put their hands on you. Don't let nobody take nothing from you. Don't let anybody put their hands on you. And you protect yourself and your siblings. Because he has 2 sisters, one older and one younger. You got a job to do. You got to protect them too. You know? And I don't care. Like, I don't care. You let me deal with the consequences. I don't want to hear that. Well, I would have got in trouble. I don't want to hear it. You do what you got to do and let me worry about the consequences later.
But I don't know, man. What's trending? So what do you think? What do you think of the music today? What's your favorite type of music, little man?
What's your favorite type of music?
Oh, my favorite music?
Yeah.
My favorite type of music. I don't know. Right now, I'm in a mixture between like kind of rap and then kind of like soft music, like common music. Wait a second. I'll be right back. My mom brought groceries.
All right.
All right.
So rap. I'll tell you, that's one thing. Hip hop is straight rap is straight garbage anymore. I call it shit hop.
Shit hop. That's funny.
No, seriously, dude. I know what.
That is hilarious, actually.
I haven't listened to any new hip hop. I'll tell you, the last of the great hip hop music was screw music.
Chopped and screwed?
Huh?
You said chopped and screwed?
Yeah, Screw and Dirty South up to Outkast's second album. I really didn't like that one. You know, up to their second album. Because after
This is a journey into sound.
Rock Him, dude.
Nah, I do.
Now that's hip hop.
This is a journey into sound.
Pump up the volume, pump up the volume.
Which along the way will bring to you new color, new dimension, new balance.
They don't know about this, man. These young kids don't know.
Right.
Ready? I throw this switch. Pump up the volume, pump up the
Pump up the volume.
This is the golden years, man.
And this is what hip hop guys do. Hip hop is the art of sampling too, which people don't sample anymore.
Hell, they got too expensive. That's what's gonna happen. Ain't nothing but sweat inside my hand.
This ain't nothing but sweat inside my hand. So I dig into my pocket, all my money spent.
I dig deeper, but keep coming up with link. He's the dead president.
Yo, let me go. I got some stuff. I got some stuff to do. All right.
All right, man. We'll do this again, man.
Yeah, I wish y'all can come on later, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this was kind of an impromptu kind of thing. Normally we do later, so just subscribe to the channel, man. We'll usually like me and Snowman was up to like 4:00 last night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we usually go late.
Snowman should have brought his ass back up there.
Yeah, I texted him. He ain't even hit me back yet. I don't know what happened to him.
Maybe he's running some issues.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because he ain't text me back. But we'll put it together again, man. So, man, I appreciate you coming over to the channel, man. Definitely subscribe, and I appreciate the conversation. We'll do this again, man.
Oh, most def, man. I'll check you out in a second, all right?
Yeah, no doubt. I'm about to go ahead and close this down. Have a good day, brother.
All right, bro.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So, what that make you? Good? You're not good.
Hello?
You just know how to hide. How to lie. Me, I don't have that problem. Me, I always tell the truth. Even when I lie.